This is not clickbait. This is my honest experience switching from the iPhone 16 Pro Max to the Pixel 9 Pro. And trust me, even I was surprised. Now, don't get me wrong, the iPhone 16 Pro Max is a beast. It's got the A18 Pro chip, a crazy good camera, and that smooth Apple ecosystem integration. But what really blew me away, it's what the Pixel 9 brings to the table. This phone has genuinely transformed my daily productivity and experience. So let's dive into why this phone was worth the switch. For full transparency, Google did send me this phone, but they didn't ask me to say anything specific about it. Everything I share here is purely my own opinion. In fact, they didn't even ask me to create any content with it. It's essentially just a gift. Here's the thing, I wasn't planning on switching this year. I've been an iPhone user for a long time, and to be honest, I was pretty set in my ways. But sometimes a piece of tech comes along that makes you reconsider what you thought you needed. And that's what the Pixel 9 Pro did for me. It wasn't just one feature that blew me away, it's how everything came together to create something that genuinely felt new and exciting.
I've been feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall.
How's it going, everyone? My name is RJ, and this video is about my experience from switching from the iPhone 16 Pro Max to the Pixel 9 Pro. Honestly, if you guys enjoyed this video, do me a huge favor, drop a like on this video and subscribe. A lot of great tech content is on the way, so stay tuned and join the community. So I remember unboxing the Pixel 9 Pro and thinking, alright, let's see what all the hype is about. I was in Vietnam traveling when this phone was released, so I didn't know too much about it. The first thing that struck me was the design. It's not a radical departure from the previous Pixels, but it feels refined. This phone exudes a refined elegance. The matte black glass combined with the metal rails on the side give it a solid premium feel that really surprised me. It honestly feels like a piece of jewelry in the hands, showcasing just how much Google has elevated their build quality in such a short amount of time. But what really got me excited wasn't the design. It was the software specifically, the integration of Google's AI capabilities. Let's talk about Gemini Advanced for a second. If you haven't heard, this is Google's new AI assistant, and it's a serious step up from the Google Assistant we've known for years. The Pixel 9 Pro with the Tensor G4 chip is optimized to run Gemini Advanced features seamlessly. I'm someone who juggles a lot of tasks throughout the day, and having an AI that can understand context better than any other voice assistant I've used is a game changer. It's not just about setting reminders or playing music, it's about real workflow improvements. For example, I can ask Gemini to pull up my latest draft script and continue from where I left off. It understands context, like which sections I'm editing or which documents are more relevant based on my recent activity. Need to send a quick email, just dictate it, and Gemini formats it professionally. It's this kind of functionality that takes it beyond simple voice commands. It's genuinely useful in my day-to-day. I find myself using it more and more for everything. This will be especially useful for me when I'm traveling. If I'm on the go, Gemini will give me relevant updates, like traffic changes or nearby events, without even needing a prompt. It is a small thing, but it saves me time and keeps me informed without distractions. And then there's Gemini's integration within Gmail, which is a real game changer for me. What used to take me 2 hours to go through emails now takes me less than 20 minutes. I kid you guys not. It's simple. Gemini offers 3 response options for each email. I just pick the one that fits best, and it writes the email out for me. Then I hit send. If none of the responses work for me, I can enter a prompt, and Gemini will craft an email based on what I say. But let's not beat around the bush. A big part of my decision is of course onboard Gemini and Pixel UI, but the cameras are also fantastic. The iPhone's camera is undoubtedly fantastic, but there's something about the Pixel's approach that's just different. Google's computational photography has always been a strong suit, and the Pixel 9 Pro takes it up a notch. The 48 megapixel ultra-wide camera upgrade is not just about the megapixels, it's about the image processing behind it. The Tensor G4 chip enables real-time adjustments to lighting, dynamic range, and even skin tones, thanks of course to advanced AI algorithms that Google has perfected over the years. Now, I am a content creator, so social media optimization matters a lot. I need my photos to look great straight out of the camera without too much editing. The Pixel 9 Pro's camera optimizes photos for social media platforms like Instagram by retaining clarity and color vibrancy even after compression. There's no doubt about it, Google has definitely been working on optimizing their cameras for social media, which in the past wasn't this great. Now, performance-wise, the Tensor G4 is another huge factor for me. This chip was co-developed with DeepMind, and it's not just about raw speed, it's about efficiency. The iPhone's A18 Pro chipset is undeniably powerful, especially for gaming, and I'm not saying here that the Tensor G4 outperforms Apple's A18 Pro, but for the Pixel, the Tensor G4 has surprisingly been great. The thermal management especially has been fantastic. I haven't noticed this phone get even slightly warm. Now, I consider myself to be someone who pushes their devices really hard. Like I do some quick video editing on my phone for short form content, I shoot some 4K video, and I use my phone for GPS navigation from time to time, and I never felt the Pixel getting hot. The G4 chip's ability to distribute workloads and manage heat is something that really set this phone apart for me. One of my pet peeves with other smartphones, including past Pixels, was the overheating when shooting long videos. I'm happy to say with the Pixel 9 Pro, this has been fixed. I've recorded in 4K and pushed it through video editing apps without this phone getting toasty. It's not just about avoiding discomfort. It's about consistent performance without thermal throttling, which is crucial when you're handling large video files. And then there's the software experience. The Pixel 9 Pro runs the latest Android 15, and with Google's 7-year OS support promise, it's got future-proofing that rivals Apple's long-term updates. But it's not just about the duration of the support that counts, it's about the quality of it. Every few months, Google rolls out what they call Pixel Drops, which are future updates that actually add new capabilities to the phone. It feels like this phone is evolving over time, getting smarter with each update. Take, for example, the AI-powered photo editing. If I take a picture and the lighting isn't quite right, I can fix it with a couple of taps using the Magic Editor. It's like having Photoshop-level editing on the go, but simpler. Need to remove an unwanted object from the background? Magic Eraser handles it instantly, and it's shockingly good at blending the edits naturally. It's these small quality-of-life improvements that made the switch feel worthwhile. Now, if you're constantly upgrading or switching devices like me, I want to put you guys on to Phobio. Phobio's got the best way to get paid for your old gadgets. Whether it's smartphones, laptops, desktops, or wearables, Phobio offers competitive pricing. You could get up to $665 for your old smartphone. That's more than what most carriers or manufacturers are offering. The process is super simple. Answer a few questions about your device's condition, get a quote, and ship it for totally free. After inspection, you'll receive fast payment. No waiting for carrier credits, just straight cash. Phobio has been doing this for 15 years and runs multiple trading programs in North America, including Costco US, Amazon Canada, and several carrier programs. So you know that they are reliable. And hey, if you're thinking of switching to the Google Pixel from an iPhone, Phobio makes it super easy to trade in your old devices. The worst thing you can do is let your old, unused tech sit around. Turn it into cash today. Head to my custom portal to get started. There's a link for you guys in the description below, and major shout out to Phobio for sponsoring this video. Now we gotta talk about the battery life. On paper, 4,700 mAh might not seem like it's groundbreaking, but in real world use, this phone performs exceptionally well. I'm getting through a full days of use on a single charge, and this is the smaller Pixel 9 Pro. But on busier days with heavy camera usage, navigation, and streaming, you might need to charge again before 7 p.m. Here's the really cool thing about this phone. Google's smart battery management knows when to hold back on power-hungry tasks, which extends battery life without compromising performance. Now, to be clear, the iPhone 16 Pro Max is still an incredible phone. Apple's ecosystem is unmatched, especially if you're already deep in it with things like the AirPods, Apple Watch, or even the MacBook. But for me, the Pixel offered something fresh. It gave me a sense of control that I didn't realize I was missing. I wasn't boxed into a certain way of doing things. The customization options in Android just made this phone feel more tailored to my needs. So why did I switch? The Pixel 9 Pro wasn't just a phone. It's a whole experience that made me rethink my daily tech. The combination of AI smarts, thoughtful hardware upgrades, real-world improvements like battery life improvements, social media optimization, and workflow efficiency made a huge difference. It's not about one feature or a spec, but rather how all of these elements come together to make a phone that feels like an extension of myself rather than just another gadget. Google really upped their game this time. The Tensor G4 chip, for instance, was built with AI in its core, unlike other processors that heavily focus on raw performance. Google's approach emphasizes efficient AI processing, which plays into everything from the camera enhancements to everyday tasks. For instance, with features like call notes, which by the way is not available yet in Canada, but the Pixel 9 Pro will transcribe calls for you in real time and organize important details for me. When I'm in a meeting or a podcast interview, I can have relevant notes automatically generated. It makes this phone more than just a communication device. It becomes an essential productivity tool. Now let's dive deeper into the cameras, which played a massive role in my decision. The Pixel's camera system has always been known for its computational photography magic, but this year they reached a whole new level. The 48 megapixel main sensor with pixel binning captures more detail while keeping the noise to a minimum, giving photos a DSLR-like quality. The AI enhancements are just as impressive. Google's image processing handles skin tones better than ever, making sure every color looks true to life, especially in mixed lighting conditions. I have used the night sight mode on other Pixels, but with the Pixel 9 Pro, it's almost like having a night vision lens. It can capture vivid details even in near darkness without introducing unnatural overbrightening effects you sometimes see on other phones. What's more is I found the Pixel's video stabilization to be next level. The Pixel 9 Pro has a feature called Active Mode, which uses AI to predict your movements and smooth out the video. Even if you're running or biking, it's like having a built-in gimbal. There's also the Pixel Studio, a new feature that integrates AI with creative tools. If I need a quick thumbnail or want to whip up some graphics to share on Twitter, it's all there in my pocket, and it's surprisingly really good. I've used it to just generate video ideas for content, just throw in a prompt, and it suggests related visuals or concepts. I've also found myself really enjoying some of these small yet highly practical features that the Pixel phones do so well. For instance, Pixel Screenshots goes beyond just taking a picture of your screen. It can organize screenshots automatically, making it easier to find that one snippet of information you saved months ago. When I'm reviewing a product or need to jot down quick notes from an article, this feature is a lifesaver. The AI help just doesn't stop there though. The At a Glance widget is smarter than ever. It doesn't just show me the weather or calendar events. It pulls up contextually relevant information, like gate changes when I'm at an airport, or upcoming events based on my emails. It's these subtle touches that integrate so seamlessly into my life and make the phone feel more like a proactive assistant. Look, I know switching ecosystems isn't easy, especially if you're already invested in the Apple ecosystem. I've got AirPods, Apple Watch, a MacBook, you name it. But here's where Google's approach is a bit different. It doesn't try to lock you into the ecosystem. If you want to use third-party services, I can. It's that freedom of choice that really appealed to me. Like for example, I've been really loving the Samsung Galaxy Ring. With the Pixel, I can still use it every day and enjoy its benefits without switching over to a Samsung phone. Don't get me wrong, the iPhone still wins on some things like handoff between devices. But Google's ecosystem has its own advantages that are worth considering. As far as security goes, the Pixel 9 Pro has a few tricks up its sleeve. With Titan M3, Google's custom security chip, and end-to-end encryption on phone calls. With this phone, you are getting hardware-level security that's robust and hard to beat. The addition of the ultra-wideband support even extends to secure digital car keys, which I started using and it works flawlessly with my Tesla. So here's the bottom line. Switching from the iPhone 16 Pro Max to the Pixel 9 Pro wasn't about jumping ship from Apple. It's about finding a device that matched my evolving needs better. The Tensor G4 chip, the AI integrations like Gemini Advanced, improved thermal management, social media-friendly camera optimization, and even the phone's build quality were all factors that ultimately pushed me to switch. It just wasn't one thing that made me want to leave the iPhone behind, but rather how the Pixel 9 Pro brought a collection of features and experiences that felt like an upgrade across the board. Like I mentioned earlier, I didn't think I'd be switching this year, but I'm glad that I did, because this phone doesn't just feel like the next iteration of Pixel. It feels like the first Pixel that truly competes on the entry level with other flagships. And that, my friends, is huge. That said, I'm not completely letting go of my iPhone 16 Pro Max. In fact, I'm still keeping it around as my secondary device, especially for content creation. Here's why. When it comes to shooting video, the iPhone is still unmatched in terms of consistent video quality. It has that amazing stabilization and dynamic range that makes editing a breeze. Plus, I edit a lot of videos on my MacBook on Final Cut Pro, and AirDrop is a crucial part of my workflow. Being able to shoot something quickly on my iPhone and send it directly to my MacBook for editing is just too convenient to give up entirely. So while the Pixel 9 Pro has become my daily driver for most things, the iPhone is still a part of my content creation arsenal. It's about using the best tool for the job. And for now, that means leveraging both devices where they shine the most. If you're considering a switch, my advice is to try the Pixel 9 Pro out for yourself. It might just surprise you like it did for me. Again, this isn't about bashing the iPhone or saying one is definitely better than the other. It's about recognizing that there's a world of possibilities out there, and sometimes it takes trying something new to see what you've been missing. So let's keep the conversation going. Drop a comment below. Let me know what phone you're currently using and if you'd ever consider making the switch. And if you did make it to the end of this video, drop a dolphin emoji down in the comments below. I would love to know who the real ones are. And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more tech content just like this. I'll catch you guys all in the next one, which should be my Pixel 9 Pro review. So stay tuned for that, and don't forget to flex with your Gemini AI tech. This phone is honestly next level.